there, it's Mrs. Ferris from Wood Library, and welcome to our Crafter School special that we're calling Creeping Critters. They're not going to be creepy and spooky, but they are going to move. We're going to be making some caterpillars that you can race, an angry bird who can hop, and an exploding bunny rabbit. If you picked up a material bag from the library, you will have all the materials you need. You'll just need a couple of things like scissors and a marker and, let me think, scotch tape and a glue stick from home. But everything else is in your bag. You'll also find a sheet that lists everything that's in the bag and also some instruction sheets for 2 of the projects, just in case you want to be able to make them again. But we're going to start with the easiest one. So let me shove these other things out of the way. And what I'm going to ask you to get would be the 2 pieces of paper that are in your bag. They're long, they're the same size. I believe they're 2.5 inches by 8.5 inches. You're also going to need your straw. And this is a good sturdy paper straw. It'll hold up for lots of races. And I've included 2 in your bag, so if you want to race with a friend, you'll be able to. And you'll also need a pair of scissors and a marker. So to get started, what you're going to do is fold that piece of paper in half. Crease it, and then open it up, and then fold one end into that center fold you just made. Like that. And then fold that folded edge into the center as well. So you're just like that. And then do the same with the other side. Fold that loose end into the center. Like that. And then fold the folded edge into the center. So it looks like a set of double doors there. And then fold it closed. Just like that. Then take your scissors, and you're going to want to round each of the ends. Maybe a little hard to cut because you've got lots of layers of paper there. So if you do have some trouble, maybe ask Mom or Dad to help you, but that's what you're going to want to do. Round one end and then the other end. So it looks just like that. And then open it up. And that's your caterpillar. You're going to want to use it so that it kind of arches its back. And at one end, you're going to want to draw a face. So get your marker and draw any kind of face that you might want. I don't know what kind of mood your caterpillar's in. I think mine's going to be a little bit scared. So I drew a face on it like that. And then do the same with your other piece of paper. I actually have one that I made already. And then grab your straw, line up your caterpillar, and you can do it by yourself, but it's more fun with a friend or even with Mom or Dad. Then take your straw and you're going to make your caterpillar race. Stand up, don't fall over. Let's do it again. And you can see which caterpillar wins the race. So we're going to transition a little bit here and get ready to make our angry bird. So finish up your caterpillars, have a race if you want, and then join me back here to see how to make an angry bird who really hops. Well, we're going to make an angry bird. In your bag of materials, you should have found 2 red cups, a pair of large googly eyes, a couple of strange looking little squares of plastic that are glue dots, a battery, 3 pieces of paper, black cardstock, red and orange copy paper, a rubber band, and some red plastic tape. And from home, you're going to want to have a glue stick, some scissors, a pencil, and some Scotch tape. So I'm going to set my angry bird aside and show you how to make one for yourself. First thing you're going to want to do is take your 2 cups. They're going to nest, so one's going to be inside the other, but you can take them apart for right now. And what you're going to want to do is take a pair of scissors and make 2 snips on each side, about a ½ inch apart. Not too far up. Can you see that? So that there's, just like that. You're going to do it on both sides of that cup. Pretty much right across from each other if you can. And you don't want to cut up too high, just a little bit. And then fold it up. Okay. Then you can take your 2 of your glue dots. And if you've never used glue dots like this before, they're 2 pieces of plastic with a little circle of glue inside. I think you can see it there. Pull off one side, the glue will stay on the other, and put the glue dot right on the back of your googly eye, and then rip it off, and the glue will stick on the back. So you're going to want to stick that right on your cup. I have the seam of the cup in the back, the 2 little tabs that I made on the sides, and then I'm going to put my eyes on. And if you've forgotten what an angry bird looks like, you can see that the eyes go right next to each other. So take another one of the glue dots, separate it, put the glue on the back of the eyeball, rip it off, and then put it right by the other one. I had mine touching, just like that. Now, what else does an angry bird need? He needs some eyebrows. Do you see his eyebrows? So take your black piece of paper, and you're going to want to cut or draw with your pencil, because I always like to draw first. What I thought was a wide V. It almost looks like an open book. Or if you get really technical, that's a chevron shape. But it's kind of like a wide open V. And so you can draw that on there. I'll go over mine again so you can see it a little better. Like that. And then cut it out. The ends are going to be straight. And then you have a wide V in between. So it looks like that. And then when you put it on, it'll go right above his eyes. So you've got one more glue dot left. And what I actually did was I cut it in 2. And then put the glue dot right on the bottom of the V. So right there and right there on both sides. And I use the flat edge. I don't know if you can see that. But the flat edge that I just cut, you see how that is? You'll do it on both sides. I like using glue dots. They're not messy, but we will use some a glue stick for some of the other parts. Okay, so there's my 2 bits of glue on there, and then I'm just going to set it right on the eyes. Looking angry? With the rest of your black paper, what you're going to want to do is to draw a wide W with a little bit of a base on it. And that's going to be his tail feathers. So if you draw a W and then have it go down a little bit, you'll cut that out, you'll fold back the bottom, and then glue it right on his back. And that you can use the glue stick for. Or you can always tape it on there if you don't have a glue stick. So there are his tail feathers. I think I may want those just a little lower, because tails go on the bottom, don't they? Okay, so like that. Then we need some top feathers. So actually what I'm going to suggest is that you, let's see, I had it drawn out here. What's the best way of saying this? I like to have describe shapes in a way that is easy for people to understand. You could actually trace your two fingers to make kind of like an M. And you're going to use that 3 times. You're going to use it for the wings and for the top feathers. So you're going to want to have it about maybe 1.5 inches long. And if you remember, I always have a trick to make it easier to cut it out. If you fold your paper in half, like that, when you cut it out, you'll cut 2 instead. And if you really want to get tricky, fold it down again. You'll wind up cutting 4, but you only need 3, but you can use that same shape for both the wings and for the top feathers. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut that out. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I only need 3, so I'm going to put 1 aside. But when you look at those, do they look kind of like an M? Okay. Then what you're going to want to do in order to glue them on, you're going to want to fold back the bottom, maybe about 1/4 inch. And I'll show you how I mean, about that much on all 3 of them. That gives you a base to put your glue on. So take your glue stick, put it on that part that you just folded back, and you can stick it right on his head for his top feathers. Put glue on another one, and put it on his side for his wing. You may want to hold it there for just a second till the glue sets on it. And if your glue isn't setting, you can always take a piece of Scotch tape and tape it on there. And when that seems to be holding well, then you can do the other side. And I'm putting his wings right above those tabs that I cut in the bottom of the cup. So I'm just going to hold them there while I set. And then while I'm doing that, you can probably tell what else he needs. He's got his top feathers, he's got his wings, he's got his angry eyebrows and his eyes. So of course he needs his beak. There is a little bit of a finish on this cup, so as I said, if you find that your wings aren't sticking, just take a piece of tape and you can tape the wings on. And still fold them down, and they'll stay on like that. Okay. So for his beak, you've got a piece of kind of orangey gold paper. And what I'm suggesting you do is draw a wide heart. And then cut that out. And you notice I drew a line across the top. I don't need this upper part. I just need the bottom. So I cut just a little bit above that line. And I think that's how big I made it. Actually, no, cut right along that line. You want it to be maybe about 1 inch long. So from there to there would be about 1 inch. Fold it in half, like that. Then open it up. Fold down about 1/4 inch again so that we'll be able to attach it to the bird's face. And right where you made that fold, you see, I'm going to take a little snip and cut it just like that. And then when I put it together, I can fold it in on itself so it has a 3D effect. So once you get that made, you can go ahead and put your glue on. And you're going to fold it in so that those two little parts that you folded back will overlap like that. And then just stick it right on his face. And again, you're going to want to hold it until it's set. And we're almost done. Now, if you want him to have a bottom beak, you can do another heart and just do it reversed and turn it up. And I did that on this one, but I don't know that you really need it. He looks nice and angry with just the one top beak. Remember, since this is a video, you can pause it at any time to do the craft part and then start it up again to catch up to the next part. So there's my angry looking bird. Now I'm going to take that other cup. No, actually, before I take that other cup, I'm going to take a longish piece of Scotch tape and I'm going to tape right underneath where I made that slit, the double slit, and fit the Scotch tape through there. Can you see what I did? I attached it inside and I have about 1 inch sticking out. And you're going to want to do that on both sides. So that's going to anchor your mechanism because this bird is going to do some moving. We told you it was creeping critters today, so we want to be sure he can move. So just make sure that you've taped it inside. You've worked the tape up just a little bit on both sides. So it's through there. Almost like it has another set of wings. And then set that aside for a minute. You can actually put it right over your other cup. Then you're going to take that battery. I bet you were wondering what we were going to use this for. I think most of you are getting batteries that were dead. We don't really need one that's an active battery, but we just need something that's heavy like this that we can put inside. So take that rubber band that was in your bag and you're going to tape the rubber band to the battery. And I found this one has writing on both sides about the same spacing, so I'm going to use that kind of as a guide, and I'm going to tape the rubber band right on there, like this. And try to have it as even as you can. It's not crucial, but it does make it a little bit, it'll work a little better. So once you've got it on one side, then you're going to tape it on the other side too. And you're going to want to have about the same amount of excess. Shouldn't be wearing red and using a red rubber band, but you're going to want to have some excess at each end. Enough that you can probably put your finger through it, and then tape it again on the other side so that the rubber band is totally taped down. And just to be sure that it stays on there, I think it's a good idea to tape it all the way around. So that will just hold that rubber band right in place. And I have a little too much on each end, so I'm going to trim it off. Because it only really needs to be to the end of the battery. Okay, so that's what it should look like. You've got your battery with a rubber band taped around it and space at each end, enough for you to put your finger through. Then take your Angry Bird and put that end of one rubber band right over the tab that you have on the side. And then fold that tab up, and remember we put the tape on it? Thread that tape right through there because it's going to be holding the battery in place. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got the tape, I've got the battery over the tab that I cut. This is tricky to show. That tape can be very tricky too. Okay, so I've got the rubber band around the tab, coming up and around. I've got the Scotch tape through the rubber band, and then I'm just going to put that up. I'm going to make sure I put it under his wing because I don't want his wing to be taped down. So just like that, you folded it up. And you may want to put some more tape on it. You may even want to use that plastic tape that I put in there and just have that go across like this. Can you see that? And that will hold it in place. It's a little stronger. And guess what? You get to do the same thing on the other side. So set your bird down. Stretch that rubber band and put it around the Scotch tape. Fold the tab up. Lift the wing and then tape it on down, and you can use that plastic tape to really hold it in place. So that's what it looks like from the inside. Now that's not just there to be a weight. I promised you that this was going to be an action figure. So take your bird, twist the battery, and I found it easier to just set it right down on the bottom of the cup. Twist it, hold it in place. As you turn it over, set it down on the table, and it goes. Let's try it with the other one too. Twist it around. This is a little bit looser of a rubber band, so I can set it down and let him go. So that's our Angry Bird. We'll do some other crafts, so hang on. So we have one more project to do for our Craft to School special today. And for it, you're going to need that egg-shaped Easter bunny and your packages of Alka-Seltzer. There are 2 tablets in each one. I gave you 2 packets, so you'll be able to do this 4 times. But we have to do it outside because it could get a little messy. So let's go outside. Okay, we're outside. We've got some water. Let's open up the Easter egg. fill it with water. Then break open the Alka-Seltzer packet. Remember, there are 2 tablets inside. We're just going to use one, so take one out. Drop it in the bottom of the bunny. Put the top back on and let's see. Whoa, that was fast. Should we try it again? Put the top back on. Oh my goodness, he flipped his lid. Let's do it one more time. Well, I guess we've seen how you make a bunny explode. So now you can go and have fun with some creeping caterpillars, some hopping angry birds, and some exploding bunnies. Thanks for being with us for Crafter School Special, and we'll be back next month with some talking heads. Check us out. Bye-bye.